your thyroid creates hormones that regulate everything in your body. It regulates your metabolic function, it regulates your heart, it regulates digestion, it regulates muscle control, it regulates bone development, it regulates brain development, and it even regulates your mood. So actually, if you look at this, your thyroid is responsible for almost everything that works in your system. It's kind of like an engine hormone. It's a hormone that just makes things happen. And when it makes things happen in your body, it makes you feel in a particular way. So it is vitally important for your thyroid to be functioning normally. And yet, it is one of those things that is the hardest to know that it isn't working. Then the good news, actually, if your thyroid isn't working, it's actually something that you can change doing different things with your diet and your behaviors. So, today we're going to talk about your thyroid, and I want you to understand your thyroid so that you have in your hand the power, the knowledge, and the education to decide how your thyroid is going to work. So, if you would like to have more videos like this pop up in your YouTube stream, please subscribe and press the button, because we will be able to send you stuff like this that gives you the power back into your own hands. My name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb, and I talk about natural solutions to health and wellness. So let's talk about the thyroid. As I said, the thyroid gives out hormones that are responsible for coordinating many of your body's activities. Let's talk about the different ways in which your thyroid can go out of whack. So it can be slightly off kilter and it can change. Let's talk about that and explain how they work, why they happen, and what you can do if it happens to you. So hyperthyroidism is a place where your thyroid is producing too much. It's overactive. So the hormone it's putting out is too high. Now this affects about 1% of women and is much less common for men. Generally speaking, Graves' disease is the most common cause of hyperthyroidism, and it affects about 70% of those people that actually have an overactive thyroid. So sometimes they get hyperthyroidism comes for many reasons. It can come because people have nodules on their thyroid, which is called goiter, and it can cause the gland to overproduce hormones. And excessive thyroid hormone production then leads to other symptoms. So this is how you can know whether or not you have it. You have restlessness, nervousness, a racing heart, irritability, increased sweating, shaking, anxiety. You have trouble sleeping, you get thin skin, brittle hair and nails, and you get muscle weakness. Now, generally speaking, the treatment for an underactive thyroid involves taking a daily hormone replacement tablet. This is what a doctor will give you, because what that will do is balance out your thyroxine levels. You're initially going to, so what they do is they give you the pill, then you have a blood test, it shows up the problem. They give you the pill. And then after they've given you the pill, you have regular blood tests until they get the correct dose of what you need. And this level kind of takes a bit of time because it's not an exact science until they actually get it working. Now let's talk about hypothyroidism. This is when actually your thyroid gland is producing too little hormone and it's underactive. Now that in itself is of course a problem because hypothyroidism is not good for you. This is often caused by Hashimoto's disease. It can be caused by surgery, obviously, to remove the thyroid, because then you're not having any thyroid that's working, or also damage from radiation. For example, in the United States, this affects around 5% of women. So most cases of hypothyroidism are actually mild, but they have symptoms such as, they're a little similar to the previous hypothyroidism: fatigue, dry skin, cold sensitive, memory problems, constipation, depression, weight gain, and a weakness, and also a slower heart rate. So generally speaking, when they give you medicine to treat this, what they do is they make your thyroid balance them out, the amount of thyroxine it is producing. Generally speaking, when you use medication to balance your thyroid, it takes around 1 to 2 months to get it actually working. And once your thyroid is rebalanced and working normally again, your dose can be gradually reduced and then stopped. Not always for everybody, but for a lot of people. There are several actual foods and natural solutions to balancing your thyroid. And let's talk about those now. Generally, your thyroid works off iodine. It needs iodine in order to function, and it actually works on iodine. And the most interesting thing about iodine is it's very, very easy for you to check if you have an iodine deficiency. So I would start here. And the first thing to do is you can buy iodine droppers. I have one called Lugol's iodine. And what you do is you take the drop and you put a little bit on your skin and you leave it there. And be careful because it will stain. And what it does is it stains your skin and you rub it into your skin. I always use my forearm because I can control where it's going to drop. And then it creates this sort of gold yellow stain on your arm, and leave it and see how long it takes for that stain to disappear, because that is literally your body absorbing the iodine. Now, I find that when my iodine is balanced, that will take me about a whole day for the stain to go. But if my iodine is not sufficient, it takes me about an hour for it to disappear. Now, if it's taking you about an hour to disappear, you need more iodine. This is obviously a rough and ready thing. You should go and get a test with your doctor, because I am not giving you medical advice. I'm telling you what I have seen work. For us and for many of our patients, it's a good starting point to understand whether you're iodine deficient without going and paying for lab tests. So I have gone and I have done, when I find that I'm deficient, I would do 5, 6, 7 days at a time of putting that in, and then I'll see that iodine takes longer and longer and longer to disappear off my skin. So I found that that's incredibly helpful. But also you can eat iodine-rich foods, and the most popular is clearly seaweed. Women in Japan are not known to get thyroid problems, but it's thought that is because they eat so much seaweed in their everyday foods. Nuts are a very, very good source of selenium, which also balances your thyroid function. And nuts that have selenium are Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, and hazelnuts. If you can have macadamia, Brazil, and hazelnuts, you literally need to have about 3 a day. So you don't need to go off and eat a whole packet of them every day, but buy some, keep them. You can soak the nuts so that you can actually eat them and your stomach is fine, but you need the equivalent of this much every single day. And that will keep your thyroid function doing well as well and balance it. Also, yogurt and eggs are very, very good for balancing your thyroid because of the B vitamins there. Your thyroid you will hear a lot of your thyroid needs iodine, but actually every part of your body works with everything else. So a little bit of iodine, a little bit of selenium, a little bit of vitamin B, and altogether you'll have a really healthy thyroid. What you will find is this: when your thyroid starts to repair itself, there are some magical, amazing things that are going to happen. Your digestion gets fantastic. You're going to find your digestion just incredibly ramps up and starts getting better. You're going to actually find that you feel so much more energized, and you're going to find you wake up rested. These are very simple things that you can do for yourself to actually make your thyroid work better, and try them and then see how you feel. Share the video with somebody else who, like you, can be like you and finds that they're really struggling with their metabolism and their digestion and don't really understand why their weight is doing what they're doing. You can share the video and they will learn something about how they can help themselves. And also, please subscribe and please write a comment down below about what you found was your biggest takeaway from this video. Thank you.